I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our weekly get-together on deal making. We're going to live stream on some of the deals that we're currently working on, deals we are currently negotiating, or deals we have currently under contract. We also have a special report section, right? Today, we're going to continue our theme with AI and the progress of AI. So it's going to be very interesting. We got some really positive feedback from our discussion last week. And so hopefully you'll find value in it too. All right. So this event is brought to you by our sponsor organization, Real Estate IQ, where there's a suite of products and services that really helps you find deals and most importantly, make deals, right? Getting deals under contract and monetizing on the deals. The off-market leads, features the pre-foreclosure leads, right, which is the most motivated seller there is, where you can reach out and offer to make a deal and help them stop the foreclosure. Now, not everybody is in the position where the the property can make a deal. Not everybody is willing to make a deal and stop the foreclosure. It really depends on the particular seller situation and what their mindset is. So that's where the negotiation and kind of the people skills also come in. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna skip over some of these success stories, but before that, maybe take a moment to take a screenshot of the QR code. You can regularly visit our websites for real estate investment related news and insights. And if we have any deals that are currently available that you can participate in, you can find that on this website. Okay, got a lot of success stories. I'm gonna gloss over that. This event is mainly for educational purposes only, right? Just gonna showcase some of the particular deals and maybe share some lessons learned. And we don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice. So today's agenda, we're gonna we just finished our introduction and welcome message. We're gonna spend a few minutes on the current market updates. We do this on a weekly basis. We really kind of stay on top of how the market is doing and really give you that insight that you need for your investment emphasis. And then we're gonna do some case studies. We'll probably spend 10 to 15 minutes just kind of looking at the remodeling and rehab progress of some of the properties we have right now. It's kind of exciting because it's starting to look very modern and pretty. The initial phase is stripped down and all that. It's a little bit more on the uglier side. Now we're gonna start seeing on the prettier side. And then we'll have our feature topic, which, as I mentioned, is our AI, continue with our AI trends and how it affects the jobs market and, how maybe, I think another, key things that we should discuss over time is throughout this month is really about how we can better leverage AI to make that a competitive edge in our business. And I think, I've been talking to a lot of my engineer friends, and I think the consensus is AI can do a lot of the operational work now. It's not about particularly solving a problem, but how do you go to market and how do you kind of figure out the right channel to bring value that we can get from AI automation. And that's kind of the key to success these days. Okay, we'll talk more about that a little bit down the road. All right. We had an event in Dallas. Fantastic. We're going to do it again. Mark your calendar. It's on May 22nd. It's in the morning. We specifically kind of designed to put that at 9:30. So, kind of early in the day. Before the 1 hour before the 9:30 is kind of golden hour for networking. But after the event, it's also a really great networking opportunity too. And obviously, there's a lot of content within those 2 hours window. So don't miss it. It's got to be in Dallas. A couple of market updates. Mortgage rate. We are looking at kind of around 6.4%. The forecast is suggesting the rate is going to be hovering around 6%. Now, it may kind of look still relatively high, and from a week-over-week standpoint, it's kind of doing a little bit of ups and downs. But if you look at the same time last year, we actually see a drop of almost 50 basis points. I think the precise number was like 43% basis point, which is about 0.5%, right? 0.43%. So that kind of the trend, the bigger trend is that it's trending towards better affordability. Okay, and May we see a 10.7% month-over-month increase in the sales and faster selling times as well. So that's kind of regular. It's pretty seasonal, but it kind of aligns with the numbers that we have been looking at and what we're expecting. So the market is behaving kind of normally as expected instead of abnormal. And then the broader Texas market-wise, the median statewide price is slightly up year over year. And there's a projected 1 to 4% price appreciation, really based on population growth and job growth in Texas. Okay, so that's our case study. We're gonna jump into, that was our market update, and this is our case studies now. We got a couple of properties that I will have made some progress. So the first one is our Navasota house. Okay. For those of you who have kind of been following, some of these slides are repeats in the earlier stages. We have already showed that. So this was a house where, all in, we're looking at about 100,000, and the appraised value is 165. So there's a good amount of margin here. There is a lot of work. There is foundation work. There is trees that need to get trimmed down. So this is already a picture of the yard and the trees getting trimmed down and kind of open up. There is a pretty big open space and opportunity to put additional housing in this area. So we're gonna start looking at the progress of the rehab here. The first phase of what we did was fixing up the foundation. Okay, you can see digging holes and repairing the foundation, right? Getting rid of the original flooring. This starts, phase two. Phase two basically started about 20 days ago. Actually, I think more so beginning of April. And we're expecting the project to be pretty much done now. And, we're slightly delayed because of the weather. It's been raining. We couldn't finish part of the work. But it's, we're really, really getting close. So, first phase was a demolition, ripping everything out, right? Any kind of wood rots or damages, get rid of all those, clean it up. And then this is the phase of replacing windows. There were some broken windows and there were some existing windows that just need to be updated. So we did that, right? So new windows coming in, putting everything together, putting in the water heater here. And then I guess it's kind of sealing the openings. Right, and then we started painting the interior. So I think these are the more recent photos. You can see the flooring is pretty much all done. So the interior is pretty much done. The interior paint is done. Oops. Okay, so these last two slides are the kind of more recent ones. All right, so the interior is almost done. The remaining work is the exterior paint. So it's gonna look pretty and kind of stand out in the neighborhood. And then, the project is pretty much complete. This is the next slide, it's gonna play a little bit of music. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I can certainly hear it from my computer. This is a apartment, 2-unit apartment, 2 1-by-1 apartment, garage apartment. That is a part of the 6-unit property that we have purchased, and then we are in the process of remodeling and getting them ready for rental. What you're seeing is the kind of almost finished phase now. We were almost done with the work. We discovered some water leaking in the ceiling on the bottom floor, on the first floor. So that was addressing that. And we're already kind of seeing the finishing phase of this particular remodel, where you can see the flooring is put in, right? The new bath area is put in. So pretty much almost ready for rent. And, before that, there was a lot of work. And I don't have the older photos here. I think another day I will we'll put together all the photos, kind of the before and the after, to kind of really, so you can really see the main difference, the key difference. So as you can see, you know, the bottom unit is actually looks more like a studio unit, right? One kind of studio and with a bathroom. And then upstairs is another unit with 1 bedroom. There's a kitchen and a bathroom, and I think there's like almost like an office space upstairs, and you know, it could be a small bedroom upstairs. Okay, so that was kind of our deals progress, right, on that piece. So a couple of featured deals that are currently available. You know, this is, guys, I think like this is a space where we can also share deals. If you have deals that you have, whether it's real estate deals or any kind of deals that would benefit our community, this is where you can share your deals and we can showcase your deals here too. We actually had an attendee that shared one of his new build opportunity in Florida a couple of weeks ago. So I want to encourage anybody to have deals. You just kind of, you know, send it to us ahead of time. We'll organize and process that, and we'll feature that here. For today, we got a couple of deals. And a quick disclaimer, you know, we're not brokers or agents, right? So we have a property in Huntsville. This house is actually really good from a rental perspective. There is a easement. You know, the house is kind of landlocked, so you need to drive through an easement into this property. And you know, from a rental standpoint and a rental income standpoint, it looks really good. And we see this as a 67% deal. So anything that's like a 70%, right, a 30% discount from a real estate standpoint, that's usually generally considered a good deal. Now, obviously, you always do your due diligence, as we put down here. There's also a subject to property in Elgin. You know, what we find is that the discount is actually a little bit off. We later on discover some second liens on the property. It still puts the property, you know, in a the discount is not as high, but it's still under market value. So there's still equity in the property. And from a subject to and then wrap standpoint, this can still be a very good opportunity. So, but it's not a kind of a rehab and flip exit. We don't see that. Okay, so sub to and wrap. You know, if you're interested in those exit strategies, you are in this area or you want to invest in this area, this would be something you want to at least take a look at. We just closed this property in growth spec, and we're going to start the rehab process. So as we kind of finish one property at a time, we're finding that easier to manage instead of, you know, just doing a lot of projects at the same time. And just kind of slowly convert one property at a time, 1 or 2 properties is much more manageable for our current crew size right now. And just close this, and we are looking at starting the work, which is the roof, number 1, and then we'll start working on the interior. So we'll keep everyone updated on this property. This is a 70% deal. Okay, we have a couple of deals under contract, one in Conroe and one in Pasadena. So, you know, if you're investing in that area, you can also reach out and, you know, get on the wait list when the deals are available. When it's all set up, we'll be reaching out to you first. Okay, we got some unconventional items that we started featuring. So this particular property, $25 per order. You get 2 pieces, and when I say property, what I mean is it's a construction material, and what it is a wood panel for soundproof, noise canceling. and it's actually, a really nice kind of decorative piece as well. We are thinking the uses would be really good, and in fact, we're gonna start purchasing that for our 2-story garage apartment building. Put that on top of the ceiling on the first floor for soundproof purposes, and kind of just on the walls that divvying up spaces and putting just kind of reducing the noise between the neighbors that have sharing walls. And obviously for homeowners that let's say you got a guitar room or some kind of music room, you can put it around the walls to reduce noise. Looks to be a really solid material. We're also gonna purchase some and test it out ourselves. On regular price, it's over $100, and we're able to get the wholesale pricing. And so this is something that we want to bring to our community. And then another one, there's a lot of e-commerce items that we are coming across, and this is a particular item that kind of fits like a home use. So that's a strip that you put on the bottom of your door to reduce draft and all that. Also, it's not a big deal, just a small little thing. But we're kind of starting to see opportunities of kind of imported goods that gives us a price advantage, and we can help save some money. And if that's the case, why not just kind of bring that in and offer that at wholesale price for everybody. So a little bit of a wholesale deal. Wholesale items, not wholesale real estate. Okay, we have more deals that are real estate related, some buy and hold, some land, fix and flip as well. So you can participate, or you can inquire it by scanning that QR code and filling out the form, and we'll get in touch and match you with the deals that you're looking for. So speaking of the deals, right? We have 2 programs that we are promoting. This is to help folks that are either already consistently, doing real estate, or you want to break in and get in the game. One thing that we find is that even with even after you have gone through some training programs, a lot of the time, unless you have hands-on experience and really start hitting the road and start running, the ability to work the deals and getting hands-on support and working the deals, maybe lacking depending on the program and the tiers that you're in. So this Deal Accelerator program is kind of designed to help fill that gap, right? The actual training, to make a deal is not that much. I think the devil is in the details, right? How exactly you do one deal. The general concept is very easy. Like you can fit everything in 2-3 pages. And it's actually kind of consistently doing the work is actually, I think, the key to really become a deal maker. So we offer some deal maker trainings. Some are recorded. I think a lot of the value is in the hands-on, case-by-case basis, where we underwrite the deals together. We write the contract together and kind of give you coaching on how to work and talk to the motivated seller and get the deal set up. So there's got to be a profit share in the deals, and we'll give you motivated seller leads and offer you the funding program as well. And because there's so much support that's needed in this program, we're only going to limit it to 2 seats for each county. And if you have graduated the program, then you become a deal partner. And I'll talk about the deal partners next. So already a lot of track record in the Deal Accelerator program, very exciting. Just want to start training some future deal partners. So the Deal Partners program is an exclusive program. We're only going to work with initially 1 seat for each county. And we're going to provide you exclusive warm and hot leads. We will also launch marketing initiatives for you. You get direct access to yours truly. Any kind of specific leads that you want to data mine and find and market to, we can do that for you. And then it's all our interest is tied to a profit sharing on the deals. Obviously, you as a partner, you also need to contribute and help us cover the overhead that we incur in creating this program. But our interest is going to be in the deals. Okay, so that kind of concludes our case study and our deals sharing segment. This is now the segment for the our keynote, which is the AI report that we prepare for you. Now, we're not going to go into this particular report. We already went over this last week. And as I was saying, we got such good feedback from everybody that we wanted to kind of dive into the chart of, kind of how AI affects the labor force a little bit deeper. We got a couple of new charts. I'm gonna skim over this particular report. If you're interested in reading this report, you can send me an email or scan this QR code, whichever is easier for you, to request this report. I'm more than happy to share this report with you, or you can catch our recording from last week. We can also send you a link. Okay, so again, I'm gonna just kind of skip over these, just a glimpse of what this report is all about and how it affects a different industry and different types of work. Okay, so the upcoming 3 charts are the new charts. Okay, let's see. The first chart is about the use of AI in the workplace. And what we're seeing is that the use of AI is more concentrated in the folks that have a higher education. You can see a pretty big difference, right, between college education versus no college. It's also worth pointing out that AI automation applies more to white collar work than blue collar work. And so, it's much harder to replace, a roofing job, much easier to replace data entry or an accounting bookkeeping type of task. Okay, the next thing is from income level. Again, AI use is in a much higher level. And so for those that are kind of in the higher educated, higher income place, what we're seeing. Actually, I have an anecdote. I just met with my engineer friend, and he's saying, his career has been, being a coder and then being a manager that manages coders that are overseas. And now he doesn't touch coding at all, and he's just setting everything up for AI to do the coding. So there is a sense of kind of crisis and a sense of, what's my role moving on? What's my role, from now on with AI kind of doing a lot of the work that I was working so hard to do, but I don't need to do that anymore. And kind of the identity being shifted to doing the actual work, to managing AI and setting it up so that it can do repetitive and repeatable and consistent work without AI hallucination or whatnot, right? Kind of creating a framework so that you can produce consistent results. That's kind of where the folks that are using AI on a pretty much a full-time basis are seeing now. And I think kind of being able to produce consistent results using automation and AI is still a key. And there's a lot of talks in the kind of AI world and AI usage world on all the things that you can do, all the skills that you can put in there to produce consistent work. And do I want to make this comment? And a comment is that new skills, right? Kind of defining skills and kind of putting all the items that a person needs or the AI needs, right, to consistently produce those results. Those new skills are like constantly being churned out and being released and getting open sourced. So it's kind of it's gonna be interesting, how it affects the jobs market for the higher income and highly educated workers. Okay, this chart is talking about training on AI tools. Folks are seeing that the majority of them they see that AI training is going to make their job easier, make them more productive, and a smaller percentage also think that if they don't get training on AI, they will become unemployed. And I think that kind of that the usage of AI, the trend of usage of AI is undeniable, right? And I think that adoption, either we get left behind or we ride that wave. And again, if we kind of do the more kind of labor intensive kind of job, we're safe for now. But again, when the robotics are catching up and are replacing those jobs, that will also become more undeniable. Okay, this is a very interesting chart. And basically kind of the conclusion is that the workers who have access to AI training, they have experienced the AI training, they value it, right? Because they have kind of seen the benefits of AI and what it can do and how much time it can save for you. Than those who have not had the training and have not experienced it. One thing I do want to point out, the way they kind of make this conclusion is that, on the left chart are the folks that do not have AI training, and then they're going, well, what's a percentage of your salary you're willing to give up in order to get that training? And the mean number is 11.4%. Most people are unwilling to give up any percentage of their salary in order to receive the AI training. Okay, so kind of hold that thought here. The other one is talking about the folks that have already received AI training. How much more salary are you willing to accept to no longer have that AI training? So it's a touch of the game, and kind of the average is 24%. They're going, well, if they're willing to pay me 25% more, then I'm willing to not have taken this training, not have access to the AI training. And kind of the conclusion here is drawn between this percentage and this percentage is being much higher. I would say that one perspective at least is we should be aware that there is human psychology wise, we are more likely to not give up something we want, right? Because the survey here is like giving up your existing salary versus the potential gain. Like human nature wise, we are more we have a strong desire to not lose something than a desire to gain something. And so, there is certainly a piece of bias here that can potentially kind of, I guess, cause a debate on like whether this statement is true or not. But I would also, kind of, I think logically say that if you have kind of experienced some training, you see the benefits, you're going to value it more. Okay, so the key summary for these couple of charts is that AI use is more concentrated in the higher income, higher educated people, workers. And workers are finding training AI tools to be important. You can either get some paid AI courses. There are also lots of free training in YouTube University. There's a lot of open source out there that you can tap into. And then the folks that have access to the training value it more than folks that have not experienced training. Okay, so I think that's kind of the key content that we have. We're gonna end a little bit earlier. There is a new app that we launched called Deals Near Me. This is really good for those that are just getting started. You want to drive to see the property. It includes a map and direction app that takes you there, so you can see what a deal would look like, and then you can also drive around and capture the addresses of the properties that you want to do outreach to. So really good for beginners or those that are actively doing door knocking. You can map out the route. And a couple of upcoming events. On the left, we have recorded classes, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Lots of classes to for those that are just starting out and you're interested in real estate. These are the classes that kind of get you into where to find the deals, how do you find the deals, how do you use real estate to build wealth. And we see, kind of there's a trifecta in here is number one, learning about real estate investment. Number two is having financial education and being financially educated, right? And the literacy, right? Financial literacy. And number three is the mindset of being an entrepreneur and all the operational kind of skill set that we need. I think if we can master all three, then we can be very successful in this career. And so, these are the classes that kind of get you started. And of course, all the other pieces will be adding that in one of our programs. Okay, on the right, we just had a Deal Makers Live. Tomorrow we have the office hours, and I think we'll have to end the office hours at 10 tomorrow. I have an appointment at 10 o'clock to work on a deal, and then we have our open house at 11, and these are live events on the right. Okay, that's all we have prepared for you today. Good to see you. If you're interested in kind of learning more about what we do, you can feel free to reach out to us. And want to end this with an encouragement. It's all about taking action. We can watch and we can see a lot of things. I've been watching a lot of videos and learning about AI, and I'm fixing to start, really taking action and start automating a lot of our operations and process. And so it's going to be interesting. And I think, the true learning is going to come from really taking that action. So, if you're interested in the real estate investment, which is why you're here, you can start your journey. You can choose to start with us. You can choose to start with a mentor that you trust, right? The most important thing is to take action and get started. Right. With that said, we're going to end today. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week or tomorrow.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.